What does it take to genuinely enjoy your life? Success? A beautiful family and devoted spouse? A high income? Respect in your community? What if you had all of this and still wondered if anything you did really mattered? That was my story. I had achieved success in many areas of my life. I was happily married to a devoted husband and had two beautiful small children. I was a physician in a busy dermatology office and building a thriving practice. There were many happy and funny moments. One afternoon at the neighborhood playground with my 20-month-old daughter, she was especially interested in going down the slide. After watching her a few times, I decided to slide down the slide myself. After which, I heard her little voice say, "Good job, Mom." On another morning, I had to put a bit of muscle into buckling my 3-year-old son into his car seat before driving him to preschool. As I caught my breath afterwards, I was surprised to hear his high-pitched voice say, "You go, girl." And suddenly I felt like I accomplished something. Yes, life was good, and it certainly looked like I had everything I wanted. Despite this, there were times I went to bed thinking it would be better for everyone if I never woke up. I found myself emotionally exhausted, feeling detached from myself and those around me. I was plagued by thoughts that nothing I did really mattered. I was completely burned out. My husband didn't know what to do. I realized it was my own responsibility to figure out how to pull myself out of my feelings of burnout. I spent hours on personal development courses, audiobooks, and faith building. I recognized that I had a choice on the story I told myself about my past, potential, identity, and future. I realized that I had a divine purpose outside of the home that was not being fully expressed in my profession as a doctor, although I loved my career and opportunity to serve patients. I had to create space to discover and begin to implement a fuller extent of calling I had on my life. Through that journey, I learned that overcoming burnout could be broken down into 3 steps, which I will share with you here. 9.8 million working mothers in the United States are suffering from burnout, according to an analysis by Great Place to Work and Maven. The American Psychological Association defines burnout as emotional, mental, or physical exhaustion, accompanied by decreased motivation, lower performance, and negative attitudes towards oneself and others. It results from performing at a high level until stress and tension take their toll. If you're experiencing such symptoms, I would encourage you to seek professional support as soon as possible. For me, fighting burnout head-on came down to realizing that I was doing too much of what depleted me, and that I had to clear my life to make room to receive my purpose and direction so that I could give my best to my family and community. So what are these 3 steps that I learned? The first step is to clear your plate. One of the most important parts of clearing your plate is clearing your mind. Use quiet time to meditate or just let your mind wander. Brain scientist Dr. Caroline Leaf calls time letting your mind wander thinker moments. You can use thinker moments to give your brain a rest and allow it to heal and re-energize. Dr. Leaf states, this can increase thought clarity, improve the organization of networks in your brain, create a heightened state of relaxation and alertness, and help you to access suppressed thoughts. Through quiet time, you create opportunities to access what really matters to you, establish a sense of direction and calling, and plan your next steps ahead to follow this calling. Quiet time seemed like a luxury to me for years, something that people who weren't that busy could do, but not me. With 2 small children and a full-time job as a doctor, this was my excuse. The truth was I actually had plenty of time to be quiet, but I was allowing distractions to fill my unplanned time. On social media, for example. Once I became more conscious and intentional about how I spent my time, precious little pockets of time began to open up throughout the day for reflection and asking questions about how to live a more fulfilled life. It takes time to pause and recognize that you have questions. Examples of questions to ask include, how can I be more gracious towards my husband? How should I organize my day? How can I be more present with my kids? Ask for answers during quiet time. The next part of clearing your plate is clearing your schedule of anything that does not align with the big missions of your life as much as possible. Before I learned the principles I'm sharing today, I found myself busy all the time and felt like I was on a hamster wheel, constantly moving, but not getting anywhere meaningful. Look at how you're spending your time. Are you moving the needle to fulfill your goals and dreams every week? Or are you exclusively reacting to stimuli that leave you feeling drained and unproductive? What non-essential activities can you delegate and offload? How can you leverage your support system to offload or share tasks that are depleting you? Once you begin to free up more of your schedule, you can establish times to determine what you're really passionate about and start to define your goals and life mission in writing. Once you get clear on what you really want, it becomes more and more clear what you don't want and what you can remove from your plate when possible. Best-selling author Greg McKeown illustrated this principle in his book, Essentialism. From his writings, I learned the value of discerning what he called the vital few from the trivial many. He also said, to discern what is truly essential, we need space to think, time to look and listen, permission to play, wisdom to sleep, and the discipline to apply highly selective criteria to the choices we make. So what do you do after you've cleared your plate? Step 2 is to fill your cup. One part of filling your cup is filling your mind with the right ideas and information. Do this by becoming a learning machine. Hone in on what you're passionate about and learn everything you can about it to make a little bit of progress every week. Time driving is a great opportunity to fill your mind with new ideas through audiobooks and podcasts on topics you are passionate about. The next part of filling your cup is filling your soul. Get still and receive from the divine. What lights up your soul? What really fills you? If we are empty, we cannot take care of others effectively. When I was burned out, I was attempting to fill others from an empty space. But when I learned how to fill my own cup, I realized I had so much more to offer my family, friends, patients, and community. As Oprah Winfrey put it, the number one thing you have to do is to work on yourself and keep your cup full. Lisa Nichols echoed this principle when she said, your job is to fill your own cup so it overflows. Then you can serve others joyfully from your saucer. This brings me to step 3. Pour it out. Pour yourself out. We're here for service. How can you use your gifts to serve others? When you identify your dreams and what you care most deeply about during quiet time, this can help you to seek to serve in ways that reveal those gifts. We must nurture our sense of purpose in alignment with our calling, and this can be done by pouring out our efforts in service of others. This 3-step system is a process that I return to over and over to regroup and reinvigorate my sense of purpose in a world full of evolving demands and responsibilities. So how do you take this system and make it a way of life when you're feeling burned out, or use these principles to prevent burnout in the first place? Decide to become a creator of your life rather than a reactor to your life. To clear your plate, establish a daily mind-clearing routine incorporating meditation, prayer, and/or relaxed mind wandering with questions. Spend at least 15 minutes feeling into where you really are and asking questions. Write down any ideas, answers, or revelations you receive. To clear your schedule, look at your schedule and identify what you can offload, delegate, or reassign to allow you to focus on activities that matter the most to you. Next, plan time to fill your cup. Fill your mind and your soul. Do something that fills you. It could be time with friends, or time journaling, or listening to an audiobook, sermon, or podcast. Fill your cup at least weekly, if not daily. This will give you the sustenance to uplift, support, and serve those around you. Third, once you feel filled, pour it out. Be intentional about pouring out to your family, friends, and community. How can your most unique gifts serve the people in your life, community, and the world? Find a way to selflessly give, focusing on compassion and empathy for those you are serving. This is all to say that creating space in your life to allow yourself to receive guidance toward your purpose can be the antidote to burnout. Purpose is the key concept here. As said by Bob Proctor, you don't decide what your purpose is in life, you discover it. How can you discover your purpose without creating space and time to lean into it? Your purpose is your reason for living. And as Lisa Nichols put it, you feel unsettled because you know you are meant for more.